Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors are on a good winning streak and looking to go directly to the playoffs. Warriors hire international reinforcement who was in Australia. Golden State is adding Taran Armstrong, a 6'6" point guard from Tasmanian, to their vacant two-way slot. 2 weeks after promoting Dutch center Quinten Post to a standard NBA deal, the Golden State Warriors looked even further abroad to fill Post's old two-way slot, Tasmania. Taran Armstrong had a breakout year in his second season in Australia's National Basketball League, averaging 17.1 points, 4.6 rebounds and 4.7 assists for the Cairns Taipans. Those assist numbers were good for sixth in the entire NBL, while averaging nearly 1 steal per game. A big part of Armstrong's improvement was his greatly improved three-point shooting. Armstrong went from shooting 25.7% on 1.5 attempts per game to shooting 35.1% on 5.1 attempts. He also has solid size for his position, standing 6'6" and weighing just under 200 pounds. Former Warrior Andrew Bogut gave a brief scouting report on Armstrong for the latest Rogue Bogues podcast. He's a young up-and-coming player here in Australia. High-usage guy, really good out of the pick-and-roll. Shots starting to come together, but he's a fighter, aggressive, really good at getting 2 feet in the paint and finishing. Gets to the free throw line a lot. Still improving defensively, but needs some work, like most young guys do. Really good pickup for Golden State. Armstrong isn't likely to play a lot of minutes this season, with even Bogut calling him an insurance policy. But he is getting into the Warriors development program, which has a track record of bringing players onto the NBA squad. The Warriors roster already contains 3 players who went from two-way deals to NBA contracts in Post, Gue Santos, and Gary Payton II. In recent years, they promoted players like Juan Toscano Anderson, Damian Lee, Marquise Chris, Quinn Cook, and Lester Quinones from two-way deals. That could be part of why Armstrong chose the Warriors, aside from the availability of their two-way slot. Armstrong likely had a lot of options after his big season, and having just turned 23 in January. The Warriors have proved that they'll give their two-way guys a fair shake and a real chance at a well-paying NBA deal. Especially when the Warriors are going into next season with 3 players, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, scheduled to earn a combined $147 million next season. Add in Moses Moody's $12.5 million, Buddy Hield $9.6 million, and Jonathan Kuminga's next contract, and the Warriors will certainly be looking to fill out the back of their roster cheaply. Armstrong is also making history as the NBA's first Tasmanian player. There have been plenty of Aussies over the years, but none from Australia's smallest state. He grew up in Burnie, Tasmania, then went to college at California Baptist, where he was the Western Athletic Conference's Freshman of the Year, and led the conference in assists in both of his seasons with the Lancers. Armstrong also played with Atlanta Hawks guard Dyson Daniels in the FIBA Under-19 World Cup in 2021. Don't expect to see much of Armstrong this season in San Francisco, but he has a real chance to be part of the Warriors in future seasons, where it will be very difficult for him to escape the nickname Tasmanian Devil. Best case scenario for Armstrong? A multi-year deal with the Warriors, and a supporting role in Space Jam 3, which will probably be about Victor Wembanyama fighting an evil AI entity that lowers NBA ratings. NBA fans react to new Golden State Warriors player signing. After making some significant moves ahead of the NBA's February 6 trade deadline, the Golden State Warriors have had some big roster holes to fill. After signing a couple of 10-day contracts to temporarily fill the gaps, the Warriors made an unexpected move, reaching overseas to grab their next prospect. The Warriors reportedly signed Taran Armstrong, a 23-year-old from the NBL's Cairns Taipans, to a two-way contract. The 6'6" Australian point guard has come out of nowhere, making his first move to the NBA after 2 seasons at California Baptist and a couple of years in the NBL. During the 2024-25 NBL season, Armstrong averaged 17.1 points, 4.7 assists, and 4.6 rebounds while shooting 46% from the field. Even though not many fans knew about Armstrong before the news that he was signing with the Warriors, many have expressed immediate interest in the young guard. Many fans have taken to social media to react to the newest Warriors guard, showing mixed feelings toward the signing. "I've been watching him, he's an amazing player, but will need to build some additional muscles to fit in the team. I enjoy the NBL BTW," one fan said. "He gets 0 minutes from Kerr unless he can defend," another fan commented. "Taran is a dog," a fan said. "Too bad Kerr won't play him," one fan replied. The Warriors might have found a gem out of the NBL, and the young guard will certainly get a chance to prove himself with Golden State's G League affiliate in Santa Cruz first. It took just 3 minutes to prove what Warriors' next signing should be. This appears like an obvious move. For the first time in over a year, Kevin Knox too took to an NBA floor on Friday against the Sacramento Kings. A blowout 132-108 Golden State Warriors victory afforded the former 9th overall pick 3 garbage time minutes, and he wasted no time in making the most of his latest opportunity. Knox confidently knocked down a wing 3 from a Gue Santos pass, then drove hard to the rim for a layup on the following possession. He also had a couple of nice defensive plays as the Warriors rounded out a perfect start to their post-All-Star break slate. The Warriors need to sign Kevin Knox to a standard deal. It was only 3 minutes against Sacramento's garbage time unit, but it might have already been enough to prove that Golden State need to sign Knox to a contract for the rest of the season. The 25-year-old and Santa Cruz teammate Yuri Collins recently signed 10-day contracts with the franchise, yet Knox looks like someone who should be around a while longer. Many were left impressed by Knox's first minutes as a Warrior, but really it was just an encapsulation of his recent G League form. The 6'7" forward has averaged over 25 points and 8 rebounds in the last 12 regular season G League games, having shot nearly 53% from the floor and over 44% from three-point range. Head coach Steve Kerr stated that he was so proud of Kevin after the game, with Knox having had to go back to Summer League and the G League to earn another NBA opportunity following his first 6 years. "I think he can help us. He only got in for a few minutes at the end, but you see the talent. I have no doubt that there's going to be some games where we put him out there and he's going to help," Kerr told Dalton Johnson of NBC Sports Bay Area. Those comments from Kerr would suggest Golden State plan on having Knox around beyond his current 10-day contract. The other aspect is that the current free agency/buyout market appears fairly dire, and therefore the chances of the franchise getting someone better than Knox appears pretty slim right now. It might also be worth the Warriors locking Knox into a non-guaranteed deal for next season as well. Draymond Green made blunt demand of Warriors front office. The Golden State Warriors are making one last big run at a championship with their current core. If they get it, they might have Draymond Green to thank. Green made a very blunt demand of the Warriors front office prior to the February 6 trade deadline, according to Marcus Thompson II and Sam Amick of The Athletic. The veteran forward had made a standing request to acquire another A-hole to aid the team's title ambitions. Green felt that the Warriors lacked another intense two-way player that could serve as a team leader. The role had often been filled by Andre Iguodala for many of the team's title runs, but he retired after the 2022-23 season. The Warriors wound up heeding the call by trading for Miami Heat forward Jimmy Butler, who certainly qualifies as a gritty two-way option. So far, Golden State is 5-1 since acquiring Butler and suddenly looks like a Western Conference contender again. After the trade went down, many predicted that Butler and Green would clash. Instead, it sounds like Green was one of the loudest voices within the organization calling for the team to acquire someone like Butler. As long as the two remain on the same page when it comes to chasing a title, they should be fine. Butler is averaging 20 points per game in 6 games since joining Golden State. He does not even have a house yet but has made a tangible difference to the team, just as Green predicted he would.